Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So it is wrap-up time again, and this one really snuck up on me. I realized this weekend, oh, it's August. I should probably film my wrap-up, so I'm filming it later than I would normally film it, but here it is. So the first book that I finished this month was The Light Between Oceans by M.L. Stedman, and this is a tearjerker of a book. It's ridiculously sad, and pretty much none of the characters in this book have any redeeming qualities. This was our book club book, and we sat there and talked about how pretty much we could only name one character who was not basically a horrible person. So, do I recommend this book? Do I regret reading it? No. I think it was a good book for topics of conversation, and it was interesting to discuss with the book club, but it's definitely not one that I would recommend to people. The second book that I finished this month was one I have been reading on forever, and that is Better Than Before by Gretchen Rubin, and I received this book back in March, I feel like. It might have even been earlier than that, from the Birchbox book club, and I was really excited about it. And it's not that I didn't like this, because I did. It was very interesting, but it was one of those books that I didn't find myself wanting to read constantly. I didn't speed through it. I did find all the different categories really interesting, because I love all of that, sort of figuring out things about yourself. And so the whole thing with this book is sort of identifying what kind of person you are. Are you a morning person? Are you a questioner? Or are you a upholder? Or things like that. And all that's defined in the book. And it's basically just sort of figuring out what kind of person you are, and then how best to use that to create good habits. And I thought that it did that, but at the same time I felt like she focused a lot on herself and there wasn't as much useful information for people who weren't like Gretchen. So I would say that if you love The Happiness Project, give it a chance. If you're into psychology, definitely give it a chance. But if you didn't really like The Happiness Project all that much, you probably won't like this at all. It was just sort of dry and clinical and okay. And then the third book that I finished this month was one of my most anticipated books from this year, and I did a review on it already, and that is The Other Daughter by Lauren Willig, and this was fantastic. This is everything that I hoped it would be, and I gushed about it in my review, so I won't say a ton, I won't go on and on about it, but it's basically about a girl in the 20s who finds out that her father is alive, even though she had been raised to believe that he was dead, and sort of the drama that unfolds when she realizes he has another daughter and this completely different life than she thought he had. And it's really fascinating, and it's great. If you love Lauren Willig, then you will love this. Even if you've never even heard of her, this would probably be a great place to start with her. Okay, and then I read 2 of the books in this volume this month, and that was from the Complete Collection Volume 1 of the Oz books, and I read The Marvelous Land of Oz and Ozma of Oz. I actually listened to these on audiobook. I don't know that I would recommend the audiobook that I listened to, because he talked with all these really weird voices, and I get it, it's a children's book. It's supposed to be entertaining, but some of the voices were really annoying. And especially The Marvelous Land of Oz, I just was like, is this book over yet? Because you go from The Wizard of Oz, which is so fun and just, I don't know, I love The Wizard of Oz story, to The Marvelous Land of Oz, which was just bizarre, and I wasn't a big fan of it, and I really hated that pumpkin head thing that was in there. And then Ozma of Oz I liked a lot better, but still it wasn't Wizard of Oz. So I have the complete collection of this, and I will be continuing on at just sort of a meandering pace, but it was fun to read. So one of the books from my New York City haul, which again, I will link that video, this one is Nimona, and I had been really wanting to check this out, and I haven't been a huge graphic novel person, but I loved Lumberjanes, so I saw that this was a Noelle Stevenson book, graphic novel, and I knew I wanted to pick it up because I love her artwork. It is so cute. Like, it's seriously adorable. And you know, it's very much in the theme of, or in the sort of family of Lumberjanes, the art is, because obviously it's the same artist. And I just thought this story was so cute, and I really enjoyed it, and I don't really know how to describe it. It's sort of a villain story, sort of not. I don't know. It was really cute, and I loved Nimona, and I will pretty much pick up anything Noelle Stevenson does because I love her art. And the last book that I read this month, I actually, well, listened to, and hilariously, I ordered the book before I realized that Scribd had it on audiobook, and then it came the day after I finished it. So that was Dear Committee Members, and this is like an epistolary, I think that's what it is. It's all letters, and it was basically all letters of recommendation, some sort of correspondence, but mostly letters of recommendation, written by this one English professor, and it is hilarious and sad, and just one of those things where it's like, I didn't realize the kind of politics that probably go on behind the scenes of universities and things like that, and like the interdepartmental struggles, and it was very funny and charming, and I would definitely recommend the audiobook that I listened to. I can't remember who read it, but it was read really well, and it was sort of like the guy reading it, you could tell, probably had a dry sense of humor, and this definitely speaks to somebody with a dry sense of humor. So I really enjoyed this. I didn't think I was going to at first, but I did. It was definitely worth the read. This was one of our book club picks as well, and yeah, I would definitely look into this, especially if you are like an English major or something like that. You would probably get a really big kick out of this. So those are all of the books that I read in July. I think I called this my August wrap-up, maybe, or June. I don't know what I said in the beginning of this video, but it's my July wrap-up. And I had a pretty good reading month, and I am already started on the right track for August because of the Booktubeathon, so you'll see a whole load of other books next month. I hope you guys are having a wonderful week, and I would love to hear what you have been reading. I'm sorry if you can hear my fiance in the background. I don't know what he's doing. Alright, well, I'll see you guys next time. Bye!